come see me again when you've gotten them out, okay? Out and safe. Sound good? And hopefully we can talk about happier things, if you know of any.
With this being the final episode of The Walking Dead final season, this is it for my returning character videos. I've been doing these since June of 2017 after The Walking Dead: A New Frontier from the Gallows ended, and it's kind of bittersweet for me because this story is ending. I don't know if they're going to bring anyone back in another season or a spin-off series, but it's most likely that this entire story with Clementine, since season 1, we probably will not run into many of these characters ever again if they end up doing another season. So it's kind of bittersweet, man. This story was, you know, it's been one of the greatest in gaming that I've ever had to, you know, get to play. But, you know, with this story ending, this is it. The trailer is in 2 weeks from today, on the 20th. Remember, guys, we're getting screenshots. If you missed my video yesterday, we get the screenshots. So I'm going to talk about a potential returning character or two we could see in Take Us Back. So I'm going to throw out a couple names in this video. Let me know if you guys think anyone's going to return. Since it is the final episode, it is very unlikely we will get someone in the present. Since, again, they want to build up a character, it doesn't really make sense to bring someone up for a couple minutes and just fade to black. But you never know. So, it's been bittersweet, guys, but this is it for returning character videos for the final season. Alright, guys. Hope you enjoy, and peace.
Hey, Sweet Pea.
Lee?
So my first character we'll be discussing is Lee Everett. We've already gotten a flashback of him in episode 3, but since again this is the final episode of this story, I would be very shocked if we do not get another scene, flashback, whatever you want to call with Lee. I think it, again, if Clementine is to die in this episode, I think it is only customary that we get some kind of heaven after credit, you know, some kind of final scene with Clementine and Lee together. And the hint that Lee had said I showed at the beginning of this video was that, you know, come and find me after you get them all out and safe, okay? And that gave me the inclination that we might get another Lee flashback in episode 4, and it's going to be right near the end of the episode. And if it isn't a Lee flashback, I expect an after credits scene, something where we could see him again, because I think, you know, if you really want to get the emotions off again, like how you did with this first flashback in episode 3, bringing him again for one more final one in Clementine's final episode, it is full circle to me. It brings the full circle movement. You know, Clementine, if Clementine eventually gets bitten and has to, you know, die or turn or any of that, just having a final scene with Clementine and Lee embracing in some kind of heaven or paradise or, you know, afterland, whatever you want to call it, would just be, you know, it'd be everything to me. I'd love just to see it. And maybe if she survives as well, we get something where, you know, at the end of the, you know, she's like, hey Lee, I did it. I got everyone out alive, and, you know, I'm alive, and I can live a happy life now, or try to live a happy life at this boarding school. And, you know, maybe they get some kind of like 2, 3 minute, 4 minute final dialogue. Or another possibility is where we get, you know, something where maybe they're back at, you know, Clementine's house, or maybe the motel or something. Somewhere in season 1 scene again, just like this train. But I think, again, they'll be back at the train if they do something like this. So, what do you guys think of Lee returning? I think it's very likely to happen with, again, all that. Maybe it'll be a determinate thing depending on what ending you get, if there are multiple endings, as I do believe. But let me know what you guys think of Lee returning.
I'm by myself.
Bullshit. She's lying. Cut the shit, lady.
It's just me.
Come on, guys. She's not sane. You expect us to believe you're out here all alone?
So my number 2 character is Christa. And I talked about her in episode 3. I made a video about 3 weeks ago talking about her potential return. And I talked about why I don't think it's going to happen in episode 4. If we ever do get a return of Christa, it's probably going to be in a DLC or some kind of spin-off series. Because, to me, I don't think they could bring Christa back in episode 4 because there's not enough time to explain her story and all this. And this is Clementine's final episode. So really, you don't want to bring Christa in the middle of Clementine's final episode and have like a 10 or 15 minute explanation of her story and how she got out, because a lot of people are going to want to know what the hell happened to you, Christa. Why you been gone for so long? How'd you survive these bandits if, you know, if she is alive? And there's a couple possibilities if she does return. There could be the Delta. If we get to the Delta, the group in the north, she could be connected with that, or the McHale Ranch. Maybe she's somehow at the ranch, somehow, some way. But again, since this is the final episode, guys, I just can't see it happening. I'd love to see Christa back, but I just don't think they're going to answer this. And I think it's going to be a mystery that it's going to be left, you know, unanswered until we either get a DLC or something with it, or it'll always just be kept unanswered. And we'll just have to assume she either died or, you know, she survived and we never got an answer to it. So, you know, I don't like the chances, but you never know. You never know.
Okay? Listen. This is your chance. For you and this boy. I don't trust myself to keep you too safe. Not anymore. Please.
So my third character is Kenny. And the reason I do think there is a chance for Kenny, this is a very central character to Clementine's story, and in some kind of afterlife scene, again, I talked about this with Lee earlier in the video, I think Kenny can pop up. Because, again, I don't think Kenny's going to return. The only way he could be alive is if you left him at Wellington, and I can't see them bringing him back, because, again, they could do the same thing with Jane. If, you know, for example, if you leave Jane at the end of, you know, Season 2, Episode 5, after, you know, you kill Kenny, you could leave her on the side of the road there. So I think seeing Kenny in an afterlife scene is very possible. They would have to redo his, you know, model, but I think it's possible. Or maybe even getting his hat, you know. Kenny's a very crucial character to Clementine, and it would make sense that they would do this. I just don't see it happening, unfortunately. And I hope they do it, though. I would love to see Kenny one more final time in some emotional, you know, final scene. You know, if we got some with Lee, I'd love to see them with Kenny, because I think a lot of people, you know, resonate with Kenny a lot. So, let me know what you guys think of Ken, and we'll move on to our next character.
I've got him. No, you rest for a minute. I'll wash him.
Back off, Kenny. She said she doesn't want you to take the baby. Don't be weird about it, okay?
So this one's kind of a dark horse one that I really never really talked about. Rebecca. And I think this, if this could be AJ's final episode, him seeing his mother in a heaven scene is very possible. I think they could do it. Even Alvin, potentially. But I think, you know, having maybe an AJ and Rebecca scene would be very emotional. Maybe, for example, AJ dying, you could see something like that. I don't think it's going to happen again, but since Rebecca, you know, and AJ really never got that much time together, seeing maybe Rebecca seeing her son, you know, in the afterlife would be something really cool. I'd like them to do. Again, I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. So a couple disclaimers here. I'm going to list out some names that I really don't want to go in depth of characters I think that people are going to bring up in the comments that are not going to be back in this episode, or that I will break down here. So, the first one being Arvo. Hate him to hell. I just can't see him coming back. If they brought him back, they should give him some more backstory, and they won't be able to do it in the episode 4. Another character, Bonnie, Determinant. I can't see that happening either. Molly. Don't think it's a central enough character to Clementine's story, and they really aren't able to explain that in one episode. So, no. Mike. I mean, they kept him alive with that choice that they scrapped in episode 5. I just can't see him, you know, returning in one final episode. And you've got potentially, maybe even Alvin, which I just talked about earlier. I just, you know, maybe in some kind of heaven scene, you know, maybe. And that's pretty much it, guys. So, if you guys think, again, we'll talk about Glenn, because I get... Glenn. Let me talk about Glenn really fast. You guys bring up Glenn all the damn time. Glenn is in the comic books. Spoiler warning. Negan bashes his brains in, so Glenn is not returning. Herschel. Comic book warning. You know, he's dead. So, don't see them returning either. that's it, guys. So, if anyone's going to return, in my opinion, I think it's going to be Lee. And that's the only character I think we're going to get returning in this episode. And that's my prediction. I think we're going to get Lee back in some emotional, either flashback or heaven kind of scene in this episode. And everyone else is pretty much going to be, you know, no go. So, this has been it, guys. I want to thank y'all so much for everyone that supported these returning character videos. I hope I'm right with this prediction of Lee returning, but let me know what you guys think of this down below in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, make sure you smack a like, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Make sure you go vote in the description down below for our next video, and hope you guys enjoyed, and 2 weeks from the trailer, guys. Alright, hope you enjoy, and latest.